Okay! Hoi hoi and welcome back. I'm BrainError and today we are going to choose one of the endings for Dream Daddy. Now, I had the choice between Craig and Matt. And I am going to play Craig first, I think. Okay, you ready? You ready for the first ending after like God knows how many episodes? I'm not really, I don't want it to be over. I'm enjoying this way too much. I know I can go back to it and play all the others, but yes, I'm sure. Let's do it, Craig. Let's start a family. Medicine is not always the best medicine. Spend less money than you make. Yeah, that's generally how it goes. Do it once, do it right. It took some time for our schedules to line up, but I finally was able to find a weekend where Craig and I could go camping. Ooh, in the woods with some woods. He always stays so busy with work and the kids, but it's good to know that we'll just be able to spend some time relaxing together in nature. Since our first run, I've managed to go on regular runs with Craig. I mostly do them because it seems like the only time we get to hang out. But the added benefit is that I've seen a lot of improvement in my health. See, that's why I partially want to go for Craig as well, because even though it's really annoying that he's constantly busy, it'd be nice if he was like 80% busy and 20% that time would be dedicated to me and my beautiful self. But he does get me fit, and being fit is pretty important as well, so... I was able to sift through the attic and find my old camping gear from college. Craig put me in charge of bringing the sleeping bags and the tent while he takes care of the food, so I double check to make sure everything's ready to go. Craig should be here any minute now. Woo, exciting! Amanda's going to be spending this weekend on a school trip to our nation's capital. She hasn't been away from home without me for longer than a day since she was 14. I hope she isn't feeling as nervous about it as I am. Sure she's not. No, she's not at all. Hey, Amanda Panda! Amanda's in the middle of sitting on top of her luggage in order to get it to finally zip. Hey Pops! Ready for your trip? Once I get this bad boy all zipped up, I'm good to go. How much did you pack? That seems like a lot for just 2 days. Oh, it's all of my camera equipment. Lenses, tripod, flash, all that. Are you even gonna have time to take pictures? I'll find a way. I need to get some good shots for my series on national monuments. Ooh, what's the series about? She just told you. Huh? It's one of those internet series where I reimagine Disney princesses as founding fathers. What? I'm kidding, nobody likes those. I'm taking portraits of my friends. Oh, well, I'm gonna be in the woods. Out there in nature, you know, roughing it. Just me and Mother Nature, the oh madre de trees. Are you gonna be alright on your own? I'm not gonna have any signal out here, or out there, or anywhere. I won't be able to text or call you at all. Oh, that's alright. I'll be able to survive a couple of days without constant updates on who just got voted off the International Haunted House Hunters. Well, I'll miss you. And for the record, Bradley was pushed down a flight of ornate stairs by a ghost. They were really beautiful stairs. Amanda finishes zipping up the big suitcase and lugs it to the next to the door of her bedroom. She turns around and gives me a big hug. Relax, Datron. I'm a big kid now. I can take care of myself. Besides, I gotta share a room with Monica Sanders and 2 mom chaperones. The most trouble I could possibly get into is falling asleep with a tub of ice cream on me. Oh well, alright. Don't steal anything, okay? Since she asked nicely, fine. I promise. I step outside. Greg! Hauling my big bags behind me. Craig's already strapped some camping gear on top of my modest but stylish car. He notices me carrying my equipment and hurries over to take it from me. Craig without a baby! Look how good he looks. I got it! I angle away from him, doing my best dance moves to get past him and to the car. Remember, it's your weekend to relax. Take it easy. I guess I can't argue with that. Everything good with Amanda? Yep, on her way to a school trip to Washington, D.C. What about your offspring? Already at Smashley's for the weekend. I'm ready to get my camp on. Haha, camp on. I love that. That's a good pun. I load the rest of my stuff into Craig's car and we get in. Oh no! What's wrong? I think I left my juicer plugged in. We gotta go back. Are you worried that someone's gonna break into your house and cold press some carrots? No, it's just... Just try to relax, man. Let the juicer float away. Take all of your worries and blend them into pulpy good vibes. Craig takes a deep breath. Do we have anything to listen to? All I had at my place is a series of CDs that guide you through a thorough and intense workout. Do you want to listen to those? I'm just kidding. Greg hands me a thick case filled with CDs. Oh, good, Greg. Because we would have issues if you're not into music. Take your pick. I thumbed through the page after page of kids' sing-along CDs. Oh yeah, Twinkle Twinkle Little Star takes me back. Keep going. I get to the end of the case to find, in the very last slot, a blank CD with Craig's handwriting on it. DJ Caxton's Mega Mix Volume 1. Made it just for the trip. I think you'll like it. I pop the CD into the car stereo and it's like I'm immediately transported to our old dorm room. Hit after hit plays and soon enough we're both happily singing the lyrics to each other as we fly down the highway. This song was Carl's favorite. Carl, the third roommate! You brought that dog home one night and I couldn't pry you two apart. So I spent an entire semester fabricating a story about our foreign exchange student roommate who had a really bad cough that sounded exactly like a dog's bark. And then we had a room inspection. That RA was so suspicious of us, but could never prove anything. And Carl was just under a blanket. Bless that pup's courage under fire. Man, we did some dumb things back in college. This sounds like pretty awesome things, to be honest. I never went to college. Well, I did go to college, but I dropped out. The hours fly by as we belt out tunes in whatever non-existent key our voices register in. Soon enough, we're surrounded by lush trees and spectacular vistas of everything amazing that nature has to offer. It feels good to be back out here. Real good. Hey, isn't this where Robert was? That's a loud forest. Can you be a bit more quiet, froggies? God, we're now in Holland. We park our car at the entrance to a familiar trail and load up our gear on our backs. I'm thankful that I've been working on my health over the past couple of weeks, otherwise I'd be dreading all the hiking that's about to happen. Craig looks intently at his phone. Everything alright? Yep, just had to fire off one last work email. Craig pockets the phone and we start off on the trail. It's relatively easy, but I know I would have been huffing and puffing at this point if it weren't for all the murder sprints. I look around me and taking the tall trees and animal chirps. Everything okay back there? There's no reception out here. Oh yeah, being out in the middle of nowhere will do that. I recognize the look of anxiety on Craig's face. Oh, dude.
Oh, man.
But what if there's a problem? Look, Craig, we all know that if you really wanted, you could flex your calf muscles and fly out of here like a rocket ship all the way back to Maple Bay. You're gonna be fine. We're gonna be fine. This is our weekend.
Nice.
We keep marching down the trail, but it seems like Craig is still worried. After a bit, he stops in his tracks. Maybe we should go back. We could find another campground that gets good cell phone reception. Craig, seriously, what's wrong? I mean, I'm just really nervous. My dad instinct is kicking in and my mind keeps conjuring up all sorts of worst case scenarios. What if something happens to the girls? I don't have signal. I would have no way of knowing. Let me tell you, that feeling never goes away, no matter how old your kids are. You just gotta remind yourself that they're in good hands. Greg doesn't say anything. I give him a reassuring punch on the shoulder. Try to remember why we came out here. The plan was to get away from it all and just focus on ourselves for this little trip. No distractions, no cell phone service, just two dads relaxing out in the woods. Greg looks at me directly in the eyes.
Oh.
No distractions, no cell phone service, just two dads relaxing out in the woods. We're gonna have some fun this weekend. Uh-huh. Greg and I get back to marching. It's not too long of a hike before we get to the campsite, and we're both glad to see that we're the only people there. I can't believe you still have this tent. Found it in my attic and already checked it for holes. It's seen better days, sure, but I think we'll be able to survive. I dump a bag of fabric and poles into the ground. We unfold the tent in the desired spot. I hand Craig the stakes. We still know how to do this, right? Of course we do. It's not that hard. We do not. What? I've After 20 minutes of struggling like people in a bad infomercial, we somehow managed to build an upright structure that closely resembles what a tent would look like if you asked somebody to draw a picture of one with their eyes shut. I wouldn't put this up against a storm, but I think we'll be able to survive for the night. We set out a couple of chairs and our cooking equipment, admiring our handiwork. Bro, look at us go! Look upon the kingdom we have built. Upon this rock we shall grill our meats and drink our brews, for we hold dominion over this land. Verily, and look at our camping chairs. Which are we going to sit on? So what's next on the camp extravaganza docket? Well, now that we have shelter settled, I think it's time for us to do some exploring. There's a waterfall a little bit up the way that I'm sure we could hike to. Let's go hiking! Craig and I venture into the woods. We amble along, taking our time to chat and admire the wildlife. Craig reaches out an arm and stops me. Dude! Does that look like what I think it looks like? I look over at where he's pointing. Oh my god, it does. That tree looks like a butt. Butt tree. I can't get over how detailed it is. I examine the butt tree further. The contour is perfect. It even has back dimples. I thought we were gonna have a great time camping, but this makes it even better. Craig holds back a snicker. I aspire to have every hike to be as good as this one. I'm snickering now too. Let us analyze this tree further. Craig and I share a huge belly laugh at our awful jokes. Well, to be honest, those were the better ones. The best thing about this is that there's no daughters here to tell us our jokes are bad. We high five. Craig and I hit the trail again. It's been a long time since we've been out here, but everything seems more or less familiar. We point out old landmarks that we remember back from our college days. I think we're getting close now. Check it out! There's a clearing up ahead. As we get closer, I can hear water running. Ooh. Cresting over a hill, Craig and I are greeted by a wide clearing surrounded by trees. In front of us is a beautiful waterfall spilling into a large body of water that runs into a river. Mouths agape. With the genuine beauty of the place, we go to investigate. The old waterfall. Dude, it's gorgeous! Nature is so rad. Peering further, we get an idea of how deep the pool is. Think we could jump off it like the old days? Haha, this old dad is happy here on dry land. Looks like you could climb right up over there. Didn't even bring swimming trunks. What are you talking about? Craig immediately begins taking his clothes off. Ooh, hello. Look at Craig's butt. I can't help but sneak a peek. That's a good butt. Craig turns around suddenly. He catches me looking. I do a lot of glute workouts. I immediately turn away blushing. You coming over or what? I don't know about this dude. He's already making his way over to the waterfall by the time I finish my sentence. When he realizes I'm not right behind him, he turns around and rolls his eyes. We lived together for years. I've seen your ass more times than I can count. It's no big deal. Yeah, I take my shirt off and drop it in a pile with Craig's clothes. I put the rest of my clothes on the ground, feeling exposed. Craig and I climb up to the top of the waterfall, making sure not to slip on any wet rocks. He reaches the peak before I do, and offers me a hand getting up. At the top, we look over the cliff, and into the tiny lake. It seems so much higher up here from this perspective. Craig has always been a daredevil. He pulled some stunts in college that I'm honestly still shocked he survived. I was always the one standing on the sidelines, watching, and hoping I wouldn't be bringing him home in a gurney. Man, this could be dangerous. Craig looks me in the eyes.
Nice.
Don't think, just jump. Craig cannonballs off the waterfall and into the lake, creating a huge splash. I'm worried for a moment before he finally resurfaces from under the water. Woo! He treads water and looks up at me. You coming or what? You coming or what? Don't think, just jump. How are you supposed to not think? I'm pretty sure that's not physically possible. My toes grip the edge of the rock. The water looks so far away. Just do it, Squidly, live a little, come on. Don't think, just... I run off the edge, trying to do my best cannonball. Somewhere in the middle it turns into a really graceful belly flop. I hit the water with a loud slap. Oh! I resurface to find Craig giggling. I rate that belly flop a solid 8 out of 10. Your form was lacking, but your heart was in the right place. I playfully splash water at Craig. Are you sure about that? I splash him again. You've given me no choice. Craig splashes me in the face with a huge wave of water. You've awakened the beast! Oh, have I? He launches another wave of water at me. Don't you put me in a corner here. Nobody puts Squidly in a corner. Don't put a wild animal in the corner. Okay. Dunk him. I lunge for Greg and manage to get him in an arm lock. Time for the finishing move. I summon all of my dad's strength to lift Greg out of water. Hey! And I drop him down for a splash. Greg bounces back out of the water. My turn. Oh no, it seems like Craig was simply allowing me to pick him up and dunk him. He grapples me with his clearly superior muscles and quite literally tosses me across the water. Tosses you, haha. I emerge from the water devastated. You think I did all this pull-ups just so you could look good with my... just so I could look good with my shirt off? Nah, brah. These arm cannons are dad launchers. Greg does a playful flex to me. Damn. Craig, truce, please. Greg thinks about it. Yeah, sure. We shake hands, there's peace. Man, that jump was such an adrenaline rush. Not so scary now, huh? I reach to the top. Run all the way up to the slick rocks and cannonball off of the waterfall again. What a rush. Good form on that one. Wanna go again? Yeah. With the same energy we had in our youth, we climb back up the top of the waterfall. I'm brave enough to try a flip, which I'm sure looks incredibly graceful as a belly flop in the water. Phew, man. This is fun. Got one more in you? Yeah. It takes us a little more time, but we get to the waterfall and both do our best running jumps into the water below. Alright, I think that's my limit. We should get going back before it gets too dark. Are you kidding? I've never felt more alive! Alright bro, you sure? It's my time to jump. I scurry up the rocks once more and do another classic cannonball. Wow, this is so much fun! I'm getting kinda cold. Wanna go back to the camp now? Okay, I'm done. Should probably head back. We go to put our clothes back on and notice that they're soaking wet. Maybe a splash fight wasn't the best idea. Ah, it's okay. We'll get a fire going in no time. We can dry off and get some dinner going. Sopping wet, we hike back to the camp and unpack everything we need for dinner. Yeah, but Craig's still naked, so that's pretty good. Greg pulls out a couple of steaks and some chopped potatoes in tin foil. Oh, little. You ready for a feast? You ready for a meat feast? Meat and potatoes. Hey man, take a seat. The great train is pulling into the relaxation station, and I'm your conductor. Let me cook for you. Absolutely not. Cooking is the thing that relaxes me the most. I'll take it from here. Oh man, that cooks for me. That's one way to win my heart, is to cook for me and cook well for me. Oh. Greg cooks now. I remember how his entire sophomore year diet consisted of microwavable mac and cheese, but not microwaved, and have trouble believing the thing he just said. At least let me start the fire. Sure, let me just grab my matches. Greg reaches into his backpack. He rummages around his back, pulling things out and checking every pocket. Uh-oh. Oh. I know I packed it. Greg checks another bag and still can't find it. My stomach grumbles, and now I'm more acutely aware of how cold and wet I am. We really need to get a fire started. Okay, well, it's not the end of the world. Oh. Gosh, I'm so stupid. I could have sworn I packed it. I'm sorry, dude. Don't be. We can figure this out. We can start a fire. We're smart guys. I mean, how hard could it be? I've watched plenty of survival programs on TV. If a naked reality TV star can do it, so can we. We'll need some wood. I don't think that's an issue. I gesture to the trees around us. Man. Oh, there's no shortage of that. Yeah, but that's all fresh. That's all fresh. You can't just take it off the tree and use it as a fire. That's not how it goes. And some tinder. Oh. We can make that work. And then I think some ancient aliens are then supposed to come by and give us advanced technology. Or renovate our house. Depends on the show. Craig and I gather a variety of wood, bark and moss until we have all of the materials that could conceptually make a passable looking campfire. Oh. Just add fire, right? That's the fun part. Not lots of rubbing of wood is needed for that. The sun is just now setting and a cool breeze rustles the leaves of the trees around us. We have to work quick. Oh. I've done this in the past and I know I can figure it out. Just give me a second. Any way I can help? Give me some moral support, lift my spirits, and we'll make this fire happen. Go overboard. You can do it. Clear eyes, full heart. Can't, not make that fire. You can make that fire, Craig.
Oh.
That's the stuff. Eventually, Craig is miraculously able to get something going. He blows on the embers and gently places the glowing moss into the base of the pit. Soon enough, we have a nice little fire going. Way to go, man! We're regular old outdoorsy fellas.
Oh.
Hooray for not dying. I take a seat in one of the lawn chairs Craig brought and cozy up to the fire, warming up my hands. Relax, man. Take it easy. Let me handle the dinner. I watch as Craig stokes the fire and sets up makeshift grill for the steaks. After all that hiking and swimming and fire starting, I'm able to relax a bit. With the sound of crickets and the scent of steak filling the air, I actually feel pretty calm. Craig expertly sears 2 steaks in a pan and he's been heating up on the fire, cracking thyme and crushed ginger over it, while basting them both into butter. Oh, baste them in butter, not into butter. Wow, I didn't know he was actually good at cooking. Ah! The fanciest I've ever saw him get in college was when he started sprinkling the seasoning packet onto the dry ramen and eating it straight up. Hey, that's an Asian thing. You can actually get Asian snacks that are just dry ramen with seasoning. Mami does one. And it's really, really, really good. And I used to eat that. I used to do the dry ramen with packet thing. I still do sometimes as a snack. Don't judge me. When did this happen? You used to eat cereal every morning with beer instead of milk. I grew up, I guess. I think these are just about ready. Craig puts the steaks onto a paper plate and sets them aside. I start to reach for one, but Craig smacks my hand away. Dude, let them rest. It'll be more flavorful that way. I patiently return to my seat, eyeing the steaks longingly from a distance. They smell incredible. Craig prepares a side salad for us in the meantime, sprinkling feta cheese into freshly chopped greens. He places it next to a generous pile of roasted potatoes, covered in olive oil and rosemary. Once it's all ready, we sit down by the fire and dig in. Everything tastes okay? I'm in heaven. That's what I like to hear. Remember how for an entire semester we would eat burritos for breakfast, lunch, and dinner? It's so hard not to go back to that. Look at you now, man. You have kids, a great job, and now you cook like a vengeful wizard whose arch nemesis is microwavable food. I'm really impressed with how much you've gotten your life together. Craig laughs, but there's no humor in it. I'm glad you think that. I glance at Greg while he picks at his salad. He really grew out of his baby face, but there's something about his expression that makes him seem so much older than he is. A sense of maturity he didn't have in college. He looks exhausted. You okay?
I don't know.
Yeah. Come on, dude. I've known you for long enough to see when you're down.
Hi.
I'm tired, bro. I think being out here is making me realize just how drained I feel. You work really hard, Craig. It can't be easy.
Hi.
I have to, for my girls. I volunteer at their school, I cook healthy meals for them, I do everything I can to make sure they're safe and happy. And when they're with their mom, I'm always working overtime so I can support them. And then you work out a lot so you can crush anyone who stands in their way?
I don't know.
That, and I don't want to fall into old habits. I need to set a good example for my girls. Everything I do is for them, and I wouldn't have it any other way. But it seems like it's bleeding you dry.
Nice.
If that's what it takes to raise them well, then it's worth it. Craig, buddy, I know where you're coming from here, but you gotta take care of yourself too.
Bro!
I do though. I eat right and exercise, and that's not what I mean. You're too little butter and too much toast, you know?
Nice.
What? You're spreading yourself too thin. Life needs balance. It's great that you care this much about your kids, but you can't neglect your own needs because you're too busy taking care of everyone else. You matter too. Exactly.
Oh.
It's just, I know I can provide for my family, and if I take a step back and look at everything objectively, I know I'm doing right by them.
Oh.
But I can't explain it, man. There's always that voice in the back of my head telling me that I need to do more. It's like it's never enough for me. Every time I try to relax, that voice keeps telling me I don't deserve it. To be honest, I even feel guilty about being out here. Greg, you're trying your best and you're doing an amazing job. That's a fact. But even if you weren't, you would still deserve happiness.
Oh.
Do I though? Hell yeah! Hell yeah, bro.
Oh.
I look at Craig and think about what a good friend and even better father he is. He's compassionate, he's hardworking, he's relentlessly positive. He encourages everyone to be the best version of themselves. He makes me want to be a better person. If you could only see yourself the way I see you.
Hmm?
Craig beams. He gets up and walks over to his supplies.
Oh.
Come on, I brought dessert. Oh, are you gonna use the campfire to torch the tops of some crème brûlée?
Hmm?
What? I know a little to nothing about cooking. Hey, you made cake. Craig pulls out marshmallows. Hey. Well, you still know how to make s'mores, right? I think the more important question is, do you know how to make s'mores? As I recall, you used to completely blacken the marshmallows. Oh, I stand by that. It's charred on the outside, but gooey center is preserved. Brutish. That's the only way to eat marshmallows, man. Nice black on the outside so it goes all crispy, and then it's like soft and gooey in the middle. It's amazing. When I was really desperate, I used to toast marshmallows above a candle flame to cheer myself up if I didn't have a fire. I know, I'm so amazing. Craig throws a marshmallow at me and I catch it in my mouth. Pro move! We used to be able to do that at a great distance against the wind's disadvantage. Give me a week of practice and I'll be competitive again. Craig and I sit in the warm glow of the campfire, watching embers float up towards the sky. The stars are so much brighter out here. Yeah.
Huh?
I miss this, Squidly. Me too. We stay here until it gets late, half remembering stories from college. We watch as the fire dies and eventually clamber into the tent. Together. We crawl into the tent and I unfurl my sleeping bag. Wait, where's the other sleeping bag? Oh yeah. I look around for a second. Oh no, I must have left it at home. It's all yours, dude. I'm sorry, I'll just curl up over here. No way. Here. Craig unslips the sleeping bag and spreads it out so there's enough room for both of us to lay on top of it. Night, bro. Good night, bro. I roll over and we face away from each other. Without a blanket, it's really cold. I shiver, and without realizing it, I find myself nestling closer to Craig. I'm sure he won't mind. He turns over and I can feel his breath on my neck. It's hard to focus on anything else. I turn over, trying to get more comfortable. I open my eyes to find Craig's face only a few inches from my own. For once, he looks at peace. His eyes flutter open. His hands find a place on my waist. I'm not sure who leans in first, but suddenly we're kissing. Yes! Kissing! We look at each other again, my heart racing. Craig.
Oh, man.
I got strong feelings for you, bro. Feelings I can't deny anymore. Bro. Me too. I run my hands through his hair, then down his chest. Craig brings me closer, wrapping his arms around me. I feel so secure. You know, talking about old times is fun, but let's create some new ones. I like making new memories with you. I smile, tracing the lines of his hip with my finger. We kiss again. I'm not worried about this getting too cold tonight. We might afterwards, actually. Oh, they finally got it on! Date complete. If I don't get an S for that. Come on. S! Yeah!
Gold medal performance for sure.
Gold medal performance. Take that. Oh, Squidly. Yeah, stick it in there. You always have time for a beer with your buds. Oh, sorry, I just noticed my bloody mouse is in the screen. Oh, finished that just in time. Phew, I think I have everything finally set up. Amanda should be here any minute now. Now, and for that conclusion, you will have to see the next one of Dream Daddy. Oh, it was really nice to get together with Craig. And it's such a nice way it happened as well. Really natural and stuff. And kind of romantic in a way. Oh, Craig's really nice. So yeah, thank you so much for joining me. I'm quite thrilled that things happened with Craig. I might have a tiny little bro crush on him. Nah, I got quite a big crush on Craig actually. So thank you so much for joining me, and let's see what happens in the next one. What the conclusion will be, and what will happen in my second ending with Matt. So please check back, and I will see you when I see you. Doei doei!